Cool. So T Strong 1985's Reddit question is, hate to be another lazy creator here, but I'm hoping to create the visual linked below. Light beams moving in the identical 3D-ish path, and wondering if there's a way to do it without Tradcode Particular. I've been meaning to learn the plugin, but I'm not super competent yet. Any help would be awesome. And the link is to this particle animation. Now, there is a way to do this without Trapcode Particular. Actually, it looks like it might have been done without Trapcode, because all the particles are moving the same speed, and then it turns here towards the camera. Cool, so let's start. I'm going to start by creating a 4K comp, and I'm going to make a shape layer where that holds just one of these lines, and then use a repeater to repeat the shape layer, and then I'm going to use a wiggle transform to randomize the positions of it. And then after that, I'm going to use some warping techniques to warp it so then it looks like it's going towards the camera, giving it that 3D look. Cool. So let's start with this. Actually, you know what? I'm going to make this 2K. Only because warping shape layers is going to be pretty heavy on the PC, and it might crash. Let's see what happens. Cool. So I'm going to make one streak like that in the center. That's a good thickness, but if you look in the example, it looks like it fades towards the top half of the streak, and then the front half is a little brighter. So I'm going to make the stroke into a gradient. Okay. And then get the gradient to be, let's see, the tip would be, looks like a cyan into black. Don't see. There should be a tool here that you could move to adjust the gradient. There's that Bezier handle. Oh yeah, let's name this comp. Streak Group 1. Guess I can here we go. It's right here. So because I have this off. Okay, there it is. For some reason I can't see it, but I could control it here. Right there. I lower that point. There. Cool. So there we go. Streak. And then they have a kind of white tip. I'm going to add a white tip, but it's not going to be easy to randomize the position while keeping the white tip attached to this streak. But, you know, see what happens. It's a small one, we'll do that. It's not a stroke. It is a white fill. Cool. We got one streak. Let me make it a little thicker. Let's save this project. YouTube Canyon the Artist. Call this Streak Animation 1. Let me get this rectangle. No, streak. Let's make it thickness of 4. That's good. Cool. So now this is where the repeater part comes in. I'm going to attempt to group these together, and hopefully the repeater recognizes, enter, recognizes that these are together. If not, then you can still get away with a look without having them paired together. So I'm going to add a repeater here. And I'm going to copy it, let's say 6 times, no, let's do 8 times. Set this a bit, let's do 10 maybe, no, let's do 15. Don't want it to go edge to edge because I'm going to randomize it, so I need some room. That's cool. I'll set it there. Then I'm going to add another repeater. And this repeater, not on the x-axis, on the y. Let's do 5 copies. I'm holding control while I'm dragging this number, so it goes by 0.1 increments instead of whole numbers. Let's give it more copies. Let's give it 7. Yeah, let's give it 6. Okay, cool. Here's where the cool part happens. The wiggle transform. And I want to put the wiggle transform to the bottom of the hierarchy layer order. That way it knows to wiggle transform everything that's above it. So let's adjust the position, randomize these. Cool, there we go. It's starting to look more like that. As you can see, the white squares are not attaching to the streak. I'm not sure there's anything I can do about that. So by default, the wiggle transform is an animation property. It animates it kind of like a randomized turbulence field, and it just randomizes its position. And you could actually adjust the speed of it, but we want the speed to be 0 because these are not moving, they just move down. Cool, 0. Now they're totally still. Okay, so now I got one of these pieces, and what I'm going to do is take this and scatter them across a 1920 by 1080 screen. And it looks like the ones on top are brighter than the ones below in the layer order. So what I'm going to do is do the base the base comp with this specific comp laid out across the screen, and then do another layer on top of that, and I'm going to switch the mode to add, so then you get these highlights. So what I'm going to do is take the streak group 1, make another comp, and call this streak animation nest.